I'm joined now by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa, Minister from Bahrain. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Again, it's a tough time for everybody, OPEC, non-OPEC, in the industry here. So how are you coping in Bahrain? How are things going?
Well, very challenging on a fiscal front, but in terms of costs, it's the absolute right time if you can invest. So contractors would give you good prices, suppliers have reduced their prices, so it's as the rules of investing go, buy low and sell high. This is the time to buy low. But certainly on a fiscal front, big challenges for governments because they depend a lot on the oil revenues, and a decline of 50–60% is quite a sharp decline.
You have been still investing in your own country, obviously, and making sure that production is moving ahead. You have huge growth in the country at the moment, and how are things looking there?
Well, I think the use of newer technologies requires higher costs. So I think with a reduced oil price, it is a deterrent to investments. So certainly some investments have to be deferred for a better oil price, especially things that go into the secondary, into tertiary production with steam injection, etc. That requires probably a higher, more comfortable oil price. But on a different front, I think we want to stabilize production where we are. We're looking at expanding the refinery, looking at petrochemical plants. We're building an LNG terminal right now, and there's a gas processing plant that's under construction as well. So pricing is quite good. I think it's a good time to source contractors these days.
When we look at the OPEC, non-OPEC dialogue, again, this is a time when really everybody needs to at least be talking. Are you encouraged that at least we're seeing a lot more conversation, a lot more openness probably than we've seen in several years?
I think it's good. The strange thing is how the markets react. It's very strange. I think the fundamentals are supply-demand. So what really happens in OPEC shouldn't have a far-reaching effect in what ultimately the oil price should be. So I think the markets need to look at the problem of declines in production, and there's a forecast of a big deficit next year. Inventories are still full, so you will need a deficit to eat up some of the inventories. So next year could be the year when inventories start being reduced because of the deficit. And everybody's saying the markets are in balance. Last year we had 1.5 million barrels of oversupply. That certainly created the price declines.
Just very quickly, this conference here, 2012, the ADIPEC conference, you're here with obviously your colleague Suhail Mazuri and all of the big chiefs here. A good place to be, a good place to have maybe a chat with some of the CEOs as well and people like that.
Gathering. I think I congratulate our brothers here in Abu Dhabi for this fantastic event, and it keeps growing every year now. And they keep breaking their records, so I haven't seen the numbers yet, but I'm sure it's going to be even more successful than it was last year.